We're outside the county clerk's office in downtown Fresno with two gentlemen who showed up shortly after the state Supreme Court ruling overturning California's same-sex marriage ban. These gentlemen spoke with Victor Salazar, hoping to talk about the possibility of getting married this morning. Mark Benjamin, a B reporter, is speaking with them.
Quite an interesting turnaround in well, you know, it's definitely an interesting development. I can tell you that the idea that I sense that there's going to be an appeal because these folks feel like they have an ear at the Supreme Court these days. My sense is that it'll probably be appealed, but you guys moved on this very quickly. Obviously, there has to be a reason for it. So.
Well, we've been a couple that has lived together for the past 15 years. We've had our own marriage ceremony 10 years ago, and we're obviously a committed couple, and we're working on adopting a child at this point in time, and we just see this as a basic civil rights issue. I don't think it's been anything but. And we have been domestic partners for close to 10 years, and that's been a step in the right direction, but it's still an instance of separate but equal, and it just does not cut mustard any longer. And we don't want to be seen differently through the eyes of the law any longer. It's an issue of basic fairness.
Again, if you're just joining us, we are outside the downtown Fresno County Clerk's office. Mark Benjamin is interviewing two gentlemen who showed up, hoping to get married.
Well, I heard about this probably about 10:30, and by 10:45, I was talking to Victor about it, and then about 10:50, he's calling me saying, "We've got guys, right in our office."
Sure.
And so it's just the immediacy of it was pretty amazing in my eyes. Were you clued into the thing? That decision was going to occur today?
It was a bit ironic for us as well because we had a meeting downtown here with Fresno County this morning earlier, and so the fact that we both had the mornings off from work and that this ruling happened to be today at 10 a.m., it all kind of came into play. So,
serendipity,
yeah, here we are.
So, now what did you ask Mr. Salazar? What were you hoping could occur today? What were you?
Sure. Well, we came in basically saying we understand that new court ruling is in place at 10 o'clock this morning, and therefore we'd like to apply for a marriage license, as any other couple would.
Right.
Given that this is suggesting that we should be treated equally. Right. And so we were hoping that we would be greeted reasonably warmly, and that we would be told that that would be fine.
Yeah. I mean, what was the response I got? It sounded like he's saying he can't act just yet.
I think the ruling also indicates that they need approximately 30 days to process how this will impact the state if individuals who have already filed for or registered domestic partnership, if they would have to terminate those rights in order to apply for a marriage license, so on and so forth. So, Mr. Salazar is hoping to, he needs to dot all his I's and cross all his T's. And he said he'd get back to us within the next 15 minutes if we could at least apply for a marriage license and at least get the ball rolling.
To me, maybe I'm off here. If I was living with my girlfriend and we wanted to get married, I wouldn't have to have some sort of domestic partnership application or whatever it is that you filled out first before you had to fill out a marriage license.
Why would in the right direction?
Right, but why would you have to relinquish those rights?
Well, yeah.
I don't think you should.
I don't think you should.
I can handle this from here.
Based on this ruling, I don't see why that would be the case.
No, I don't think that should be the case at all. The bottom line is, again, this is an issue of fairness and equality. This is a Fresno County office here that we're visiting. I am a Fresno County, I live in Fresno County. I'm a member. I pay my county taxes. I pay my state taxes. I expect to be treated equally, and I expect my partner in my relationship to be treated fairly.
Do you feel that's occurred so far this morning?
Well, no, I think that what's happened is that they need to sort of figure out how this decision gets implemented, and if that is the case, then I would expect to hear relatively soon how that will occur, and then we would come back down and actually file the correct paperwork for this to take place.
Do you feel that it's intentionally that these folks here are being intentionally?
I don't think that they're being intentionally unfair, but I don't think that there's a particularly welcoming feeling that comes from this office in regards to this issue. And I think that just again sort of speaks to the discrimination that's inherent in this type of an issue where people are separated.
Now you said you've gone through a marriage ceremony. Where did you go through the marriage ceremony?
I was in San Diego. We were living in San Diego at the time, and we had about 60 friends and family come, and we had a local member of the clergy for Gay and Lesbian Congregation as an officiant.
And MCC, Metropolitan Community Church.
And it was very nice, but again, it does not bestow any benefits that are available to married couples. And this is becoming more of a pressing issue for us as we start a family.
Right.
And
we're, of course, still filed separately. Paid your taxes.
Have separate benefits.
Federally, you can't. Right.
Yeah.
Federally, it's not recognized, and therefore you do not have the same protection.
When did the ceremony take place?
About 10 years ago.
August 1st, 1998.
So how long have you been together?
15 years.
Now, again, like you said, forced to file separately, you need to have separate insurance. Am I correct on that? And you're starting a family, so whoever would have the better insurance then would have would be the legal guardian, I assume. Is that correct, or you both are legal?
Theoretically, that would be the idea.
But,
We're still in the process, so I don't think that we know all the answers to how those.
Right.
But again, all the specifics.
But in my family, my wife and I have insurance together. Our kids are covered under the same insurance.
Correct.
Not under my insurance or your insurance. So inherently, what you're saying here is that the process is unfair.
The process
has been
for many years.
All right.
State of Massachusetts, when did they have their? I think it's 2005, a couple of years. They haven't had or seen any problems. And,
there's been no crumbling.
No crumbling of civilization and no high divorce rates. So
it's probably the same divorce rate as
or less.
The date is Thursday, May 15th. It's after 11 a.m. We're in Fresno, California, downtown. Mark Benjamin on the left here, reporter for the Fresno Bee.
Yeah. I just want to ask the gentleman for phone numbers.
This has been FresnoBee.com reporting. These two gentlemen will get their names for you. Applied for a marriage license in downtown Fresno. Shortly after the California State Supreme Court ruling overturned same-sex marriage ban that had been in place.
All right.
Can I get your names one more time?
Clark Willett.
Clark Willett and
Jeff Twitchell.
Jeff Twitchell. Thank you, gentlemen, for talking to us today. Good luck.
Thank you, Steve.